Sociological self-report. Sociological imagination. Using my sociological imagination means that I relate my personal experiences to social issues. For me, personal experiences that I've experienced include my interests from childhood and even recent interests that influence what I want to pursue in the future, such as higher education and careers. As a child, I really liked the stars, which made me want to pursue either an astrophysics degree or a regular degree. Though, when I got older, I really started enjoying motorsports. For all of high school, I was part of an engineering track, which also made me want to do maybe something engineering wise. That is how I decided I was going to double major in mechanical engineering and physics. Another factor of my choice in career in college was the cost of college. That was one of the main deciding factors as to where I was going to school at. I'm going to be going to school at BCTC and then transferring to UK. Culture, race, and ethnicity. I was born in the United States as a white American, and my family is not very culturally active. My roots are mostly from the Scandinavian countries, with some in Germany and Poland. We usually don't do anything culturally wise. Sometimes we make traditional Swedish food, like julekake and Swedish meatballs. We hang Swedish Dala horses on our Christmas trees, and at my aunt's house we have one hanging outside. I currently have one hanging in my room taken from the tree. And then in the bottom left corner, that is a Swedish Dala horse. Social interaction and socialization. Agents of socialization are a critical part of what shapes social interactions, and I have been heavily impacted by almost every single agent. The first agent is family, which makes a lot of sense due to how you are literally living with your family for a long time. My family has impacted my social interactions by teaching me things about real-world expectations and acceptable social norms, which I still uphold to this day. The second agent is peer groups, which include friend groups, groups of similar interests, social statuses, and ages. For me, peer groups have been the second largest impact on my social life by being the main people I talk to, and because they each have their own beliefs and got taught their own social expectations, I am able to see how different people think of social norms slightly differently. The third agent is school. School has taught me a lot about the different expectations about how to treat people and respect, which my parents also taught, so school reinforced those values. School teaches a lot about real world events and how these events have changed society and its norms over the years. The fourth agent is the workplace. I do not have any experience in the workplace, so I have no input on how this has affected my social interactions. But this can teach things like how you address employees and how you should dress in the workplace. The fifth agent is religion. Again, I'm not very religious, so I don't have any say on how this agent has affected me. But from what I have seen, religion affects how not only you see others and interact with others, but with how you interact and see yourself, as you don't want to sin with someone else or yourself. The sixth agent is the government, which is another big one for I assume everyone. The government sets laws and rules that citizens and tourists are supposed to abide by for everyone's safety and morality. For example, the government has told and taught me not to steal from a store or go out and harm someone and other things like that, which affects how some may think or control their thoughts about someone. The seventh and last agent is mass media. Mass media shows individuals millions of different opinions that are out there, and personally, it has been interesting to see how my conservative values differ from Democrat views. There has been an influx of these Democrats expressing their views due to the recent election and inauguration of President Trump. I've also seen different views on, like we talked about in Module 8, about the gender norms and the traditional trad wife versus the more feminist girl boss type stereotypical stuff. Um, Groups and organizations. On the left is a picture of my choir, and that's all the seniors. And then that's me and my dad, and then me, my aunt, and my three sisters. Choir is a big part of my life, being the place where I met a whole bunch of my friends. My role in choir is an achieved status because I have chosen to be part of the group, and since I have decided to participate in it, it has been a safe space for me. Another achieved status that I have is NHS and school in general. National Honor Society is an achieved status because I was recruited to be part of the society, and it has shown me that I am a better student, much better student than I originally thought of myself. Being in a family has automatically given me and ascribed statuses such as being a daughter and a sister. Deviance, crime, and social control. As someone who is not a criminal and never been convicted or has done anything against the law, I can't share any huge experiences. The only experiences I can share is being deviant at school. Over half the students at my school are very popular and more social and go out a lot with friends and don't spend a lot of time on actual schoolwork. I am someone who spends a lot of time working on classwork and enjoying my own hobbies at home like reading and crocheting, which isn't anything as big or bold as other students going out at a party and abusing substances. I tend to get called things like a nerd or a tryhard at school because I get good grades. But I'm also, while I get called a nerd or a tryhard, other students who tend to go out and party and stuff tend to get called bad kids because they don't spend as much time studying and they get bad grades, and then they, in turn, may not graduate and may get mad at kids like me. Social stratification. My family is low class, which means we don't really earn enough to do anything outside of just getting necessities. We occasionally go out to eat and on occasion go on vacations, but we are still an incredibly happy family that doesn't get too stressed about our financial situation. I want to be able to go to college and get a good job for my future family and to have a good financial stability though, and I'm committed to making that happen. I want to go to school to my dream job is a race engineer for motorsports, and they make decently good pay, so I want to be able to use that to help my future family for the long run. Other things that are considered under the social stratification umbrella can be social mobility, which I want to be more socially mobile than my family has been. So I want to be that percentage that it was either Dr. Chetty or the other doctor in the discussion talked about how the children of the parents go out and be more successful than the parents. And I want to be able to be in that percentage so I can go above my parents' income and be more successful than them. I think that if I try hard enough, then I can be able to move up in the social ladder then and go from being low class to middle class and then I mean hopefully high class to get more richer, get more like life experiences, money, all of that. On the other hand, my boyfriend is on the probably middle class or upper middle class, and his mom doesn't work, and then his dad owns a business, but his family makes a lot more income than mine does, so it's very evident that his life is a lot different than mine, and 'cause he goes to a private school that the tuition itself is 16,000 per year, and I go to a public school that's paid for by tax dollars and just some like basic fees for certain books or my choir fees are like $50 a year for like the dresses and music and all that. But there's clear differences in our housing. I live in a manfab, very basic, um, not expensive. He lives in a 3-story house with a giant basement. He has like the whole upstairs to himself. And then his whole family has big houses, large incomes, while my family has lower incomes, smaller houses that reflect our social statuses. And I I want to be able to not only um, have whenever he gets a job into the income for our future family, but I want to be able to support that as well with my own job. Him having a job, we'll have a dual income family where I'm hoping that it'll really um, propel our lives forward to be really successful and change our classes, be more mobile in the social stratification world. Sex and gender. As a woman, I personally am in between the traditional style woman roles and the more girl boss mindset. I want to uphold the traditional take care of children, cook, clean, and maintain the home, such as the trad wife style. But I also have an interest to go out, get a higher education, and get a good job, like I said before. I think that within my lifetime, I will be able to achieve both to a certain degree. Some talk about how your sex can either set you back or forward, and usually as a woman that sets you back. But I have not experienced that in my life as I can do the same things that men do.